सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सुखं नित्यं स्वप्रकाशं व्यापकं नामरूपयोः अधिष्ठानं बुद्ध्यबोध्यं बुद्धिर्दृग्यत्तु निर्मलम् अपारं सर्ववेदान्तवेद्यं प्रत्यक्परं महः तदेवाहं न मत्तोऽन्यदिति मे निश्चिता मतिः। I will do it, no problem.
Student free from the mouth of the crocodile in the form of samsara. And regarding that Advaita, the Tiruvanimara brings that this Advaita alone is presented in various texts such as Yoga Vasistha or two types of Bhagavatam, daily Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, and various Rasa, Purana, in all of them Advaitam is present. And even in 108 Upanishads also Advaitam alone is present. In the Tiruvanimara makes a view that Advaitam being Anadigata means it is not known until now through any other uses of knowledge. And that Advaitam being Abhajita, being non-negatable by any other means of knowledge, and also Advaitam being Apurva, means it will not be known through any other means of knowledge, and alone is to be Shastrartha. Yes, that should be the Tatparya of Shastra. And after the Lakshana of the teacher, the Granthakara gave the Lakshana of the Shishya. The Granthakara said, in the first Taranga, Sadhana Chatushkayam was told as the adjective to the person, and the Sadhana Chatushkaya is the one because of which a person is engaged in the study of Vedanta. And what is Shishya's Lakshana? The Lakshana of the Shishya is the wealth of that Sadhana Chatushkaya. Means one who is Sadhana Chatushkaya Sampannaha, he deserves to be called a Shishya. And by the word Sampanti, we saw that it is shown that the moksha rupa phalam is obtained by the wealth in the form of Sadhana Chatushkaya. And now in this 112th Bhagavad, the Granthakara is explaining the result of Guru Bhakti. And we see that in the Shastra it is said the Sadhana Chatushkaya Sampanna Shishya should approach a Guru and present his devotion through Namaskara. And then he should ask for the knowledge. And until now, until the stage of Karma Yoga and Vasana Yoga, in Shastra, this Ishvara Bhakti is highlighted. And now, it's in the stage of Jnana Yoga, Ishvara Bhakti and Guru, both are highlighted. And the Granthakara developed in the stage of karma yoga and upasana. So now the guru bhakti has to be developed, and hence it is highlighted more. And also there is a chance that in Ishvara generally we do not have this fault finding. Whereas for the guru who has this human body as a body, there may be a chance to find some fault. And therefore also to dilute that particular attitude also,
Or to take care of that issue.
to take care of that particular issue also, Guru Bhakti is highlighted more in Jnana. And Vichara says that a Shishya should do more namaskar adi towards the Guru compared to Ishwar. For that he gives the reason that even a person who has got this knowledge of Shastrantara, who knows the Shastra, but he would not be able to understand the Atma Tattva without Gurupadesha. And how do you say so that Atma Tattva would not be known without Gurupadesha? For that, Vichara gives some Shruti Pramana. Aisha Tatyena Apaneya.
Mitirapadeya.
Aisha Tatyena Matihi Apaneya. This understanding is not to be attained by mere speculative logic. This only logic is not the means for attainment of this knowledge. And also in the Kathashruti concept, that this understanding is not attained by pravachana. Pravachana here means by knowing or study of the Veda Shabda, then by medha, is by remembering the Veda Shabdas, and also by bahuna shrutena, then just by listening to Vedanta without proper attitude, means by lot of listening without proper attitude, by that also is the meaning of the knowledge is not cannot be attained.
Proper attitude to Guru. Because contextually we have to say.
So without proper attitude towards the Guru, this particular knowledge will not be attained. And Chandogya says, Acharyava Guru Veda. Means a person who is endowed with Acharya, teacher, he knows. Means he will definitely know. And in Chandogya, one more statement comes, which says that this knowledge which is known from the Guru, means by the teaching of the Guru, then only this knowledge would attain the status of being the best, means being effective. So, by this Shruti, from this Shruti, we understand that how to Guru Upadesha, this teaching or this understanding is not attained. Understanding of Atma Tattva is not attained. And now the Granthakara, to explain this idea, gives an example. So he says that this Veda, like ocean, like Veda, and he Veda refers to Vedanta. So this ocean, like Vedanta, without the Upadesha of Guru, becomes saline. And he says that just as a person who has gone to the ocean and
What?
was
Gone.
gone into the ocean.
Never born. Okay. Gone into the ocean. Or fallen into the ocean. Okay.
So the person who has fallen into the ocean, he will be drinking this ocean water, and thereby he will attain dukkham only, because that water will be very saline, and so he will attain dukkham. Similarly, the person, even though he is an expert in other shastras, he by himself tries to understand the Vedartha, means the Vedantartha, without Upadesha, then he will understand Dvaita alone as the Tatparyam of Vedanta. And because of that, he will remain in this samsara in the form of a series of Janana Marana, and thereby he will continuously experience dukkha, and he will not attain as to attain Ananda Swarupa, one soul, Nitya, permanent, Niratisaya, unsurpassable Ananda Swarupa in the form of kingdom. So I was told here that when a person tries to understand this Vedanta on his own, then in the Vedanta, the prakriya that is used is Adhyaropa Apavada prakriya. And first of all, Shastra shows the Adhyaropa prakriya. And there might be a chance, or there will be, that the person will understand whatever is told in Adhyaropa prakriya as the Tatparyam of Vedanta. And then it will be said that Jiva is different from Ishvara, Ishvara is Jagat Karanam, so Jagat is different from Ishvara. So this Veda will be understood as the Tatparyam of Shastra. And because of remaining or continuing in Veda, that person will remain in samsara. And we saw that the difference between the Drashtanta and the Dashtanta is that in the Drashtanta, a person, when he sips this saline water once, then because of that dukkha, that experience of dukkha, he will himself not want to experience that again. Neither he will ask others to experience that or drink that saline water. Whereas in case of Dashtanta, what is happening? The person himself thinks that he has understood the Vedantartha, and that is Dvaita. And that is the wrong understanding. So he has got this wrong understanding that Dvaitam is the Vedantartha, and thereby he will not only remain in Dvaitam, but he will teach others also that Dvaitam is the Tatparyam of Shastra. So in this manner, there will be double problem. Means first, he will not understand that he has got wrong understanding, and moreover, he will remain in samsara due to that wrong understanding. So therefore, without the help of the Guru, means without the Guru Upadesha, this jnanam cannot be understood. Because what is told in Adhyaropa Dasha will be negated in Apavada Dasha. That will be told by the teacher alone. That is very difficult, that is not possible to understand on our own. And even if a person is seeing everything Adhyaropa, Apavada, then he will feel that there is some contradiction in the Shruti. Because at some stage there will be some statement from Upadhi standpoint, some statement from Swarupa standpoint, and that the teacher only will see that this statement is to be seen from this standpoint, and thereby the seeming contradictions also will be resolved. So that is not so, then the person will remain in samsara.
Correct. So we are seeing Guru Lakshana, Shishya Lakshana, and when the topic of Shishya came up, then what is the Lakshanam of Shishya was briefly presented as Sadhana Chatushtaya, which is Adhikari Visheshana. You say Purusha Visheshana, Adhikari Visheshana. The adjective for the qualified person. And Tat Sampattihi, endowed with that Sadhana Chatushtaya, is the Lakshana of Shishya. So what is the Lakshana of Shishya? Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti Shishyasya Lakshana. And since Shishya topic has come up, therefore what is to be done by Shishya, that is highlighted. So Shishya topic is started. So Lakshana was given. Now Shishya Kartavya is having Guru Bhakti, Guru Shraddha, which are to be expressed in the form of Namaskara, Stuti, Seva. Kayena Seva, Vachasa Stutihi, Manasa Shraddha Bhaktihi. So that is the Shishyena Kartavyam. And as we have seen that it is not, or it should not be a demand of the Guru. In fact, in Acharya Upasanam, Puja Swamiji nicely says that this quality is mentioned not for the benefit of Acharya, it is meant for the benefit of Shishya. If Shishya gets a doubt that Guru keeps on talking about Guru Bhakti, so he means he has some agenda, then it is very, very harmful because it will affect the spirit. Once you get the doubt in the source, then everything will be polluted. Because whenever you listen to the Guru, then you get a doubt. See, this Guru Bhakti is talking about for his agenda. Maybe this also he might be talking for his agenda. Why he is talking like this? Like somebody who is known for his selfishness and he offers something, we always get a doubt. Even though he might be offering genuinely, we get a doubt. He is simply telling that you please come for dinner. So we always get a doubt. He must have something. He wants my signature for something, or he wants to join his party. Something will come. Once mind is polluted with reference to one person, then the authentic sense of validity in that person's word goes away, or it gets affected. And therefore, Shishya needs to understand that it is for his or her benefit. And then why Guru Bhakti is required, that is explained. That yataha akhila shastra vidpannopi Guru Padesha mantara swatma tatpam na janiya. And he gave this Shruti Vakya. Tad Vignanartham Guru Meva Abhigachet. That Vakya also can be quoted here. And Ayameva Arthaha Vakshimana Drishtantena Sputi Kriyate. Then he gave the Drishtanta of Veda Rupa Samudra. And he said that Guru Padesham Vina Shastrantara Kushalaha api Swatantrena Vedartham Vicharayantaha Guru. That we have not seen this. We have seen this. No? Guru Sampradaya Bhavat Veda eva sarva Vedartha iti Swamati Vibhavanusarena Nishchitya Veda Rupa Kshara Jalameva Aswadya Janana Marana Prabandhatmaka Dukhameva Avishramam Anubhavati. Here one point he highlighted, this which I wanted to talk about a little more. Shastrantara Kushalaha api. Even when they are expert in other Shastra, still if they do Vedartha Vichara Swatantrena, then they are more likely to get the Veda Drishti. Therefore, in Mundaka Upanishad, Pariksha Lokan Karmachitan Nirvedamayat Brahmanaha Nastya Krita Kritena Tad Vignanartham Guru Meva Bigachet. For that, Evakara, Bhashyakara writes, Shastragnopi Swatantrena Brahmagnananveshanam na kuryat. Iti etat Guru Meveti Avadharana Phalam. Shastragnopi Swatantrena Brahmagnananveshanam na kuryat. Iti etat Guru eva iti avadharana phalam. In the mantra it is said Guru eva. So by the word eva, emphasis is conveyed. And what is the result of that emphasis? Means, what is the message to be understood from that emphasis? Avadharana phalam kim? Avadharanena kim vivakshitam? For that, Bhashyakara said, by this avadharana, the message given is this Shastragnaha api. Here Shastragna refers to Shastrantaragnaha. The person who is knowing this Sanskrit, person who knows this Mimamsa, Nyaya, and therefore he thinks, see, I can read Sanskrit, therefore I can understand. It is something like somebody thinks that I can read English, Swamiji, so I can understand this, MBBS books, or MSc, MSc chemistry, I can understand, Swamiji. It is in English only, no, Swamiji? Oh, English only, but it requires a lot of background to understand. So, Shastragnaha api, so person, even though he knows Sanskrit, he knows Mimamsa, still Swatantrena, independently, Brahmagdananveshanam na kuryat. He should not do the analysis for Brahmagdanam, means Brahma Vichara na kuryat. And that is suggested here, Shastrantara Kushalaha api Swatantrena Vedartham Vicharayantaha Sarva Vedarthaha Bhedahe Vaiti Nishchitya. And what happens that when you are studying on your own, you will have this value for finding out something which others have not found out. The tendency will be there. Because the very basis to go without Guru shows that you have this ego problem. And that same ego will make you project some meaning which is not there. And therefore what will happen? Oh, everybody is seeing Advaita, or some people are saying Bheda, but I am seeing double, Bheda. That is something better. Or I am seeing Swamiji, whole quantum physics I am seeing in Vedanta. He will say this. It is something like, when they say that when you have a hammer in your hand, what you see is only nail everywhere. You want to hammer. Because you have a hammer. So you will see quantum physics. Everywhere I am seeing quantum physics only. It is quantum. That's how people come out with so many ideas about this, Vedanta sentence. Oh, here, this quantum physics, how nicely presented and all. They don't understand that it is not. Some people, they gave me some other day, somebody was telling that Dridrishya Viveka means that when we are seeing ourselves as Sakshi, all our thoughts come down. When thoughts come down, then our health issue is resolved. I said, Dridrishya Viveka doesn't have Tatpriyam in this. You can use it, yeah. When you are entertaining Sakshi Baba, your thoughts are likely to be reduced. That is okay. That is a byproduct. But Dridrishya Viveka is not meant for that. So people get this type of idea. He said, Swami, this Dridrishya Viveka, we see that thoughts are automatically come down. And they take they want to get my concurrence with that. Now Swami, it is said like this, no? He said, it is said, but not for this purpose. So this is what happens. When people try to analyze the Shastra on their own, this is what happens. And they say that for every seller, there is a buyer. So you will get some people also. You will say, yeah, that is true. Because there are always some people who are dissatisfied with some guru. And therefore he said, see, all gurus don't explain this. He said, then they will form it. That's what all these things I have seen, that is very, very likely. Therefore they say, they dukkham eva anubhavanti. Alright. Then we were seeing the Tippani about Advaitopadesha. Jiva Brahma Advaita Upadeshena Yo Bodhayati Mochayati Saiva Guru. One who releases the disciple from the samsara graha, the crocodile of samsara, Through the teaching of Advaita, the non-duality means non-difference between Jiva and Brahma, that is Guru. And that in that connection, he has written that first of all, Advaita alone is Pratipadyate, is presented in the Vasishtha, Dvivida Bhagavata, Sutta Samhita, Ityasa Purana, and in Ashtotara Shata Upanishad also. And that alone can be Shastrartha. Now, he based on the word Brahma derived from Bruh Dhatu, also we can appreciate Advaita. That's what it does. Kincha, moreover, Bruh, it should be Bruhani, Bruhi Vruddho. Hakara should be there, no? Bruh Vruddho, Bruhi Vruddho. One is Anubandha, Ikara Anubandha is there. And another Ikara Anubandha is not there. Bruh Vruddho, Bruhi Vruddho. So Bruhi also finally become Bruh only. Barhati, Bruhati. So Vruddho in the sense of Bruddhi. Both the dhatus are there. Therefore it's Bruh Vruddho, Bruhi Vruddho. The forms will be different. One is I think Barhati, another is Bruhati or something. Bruhati, yeah. And but both will have the meaning Vruddho. Vardhate ityartha. Iti dhatuhu Vruddhim achaste. This Bruh dhatu achaste means conveys. Vruddhim, expansion, growth, bigness. Sacha Vruddhihi, and that Vruddhi, that bigness which is conveyed by the dhatu, atra, in this context, in the context of the word Brahma, Pratiyogi Visheshanupadanat Niratishaya eva vivakshita. That bigness is vivakshita, is intended to be conveyed. How? Niratishaya eva, unsurpassable alone. So unsurpassable bigness alone intended to be conveyed. By what? By the word Brahma. Why? Pratiyogi Visheshanupadana. Because of non-mention of any counter-correlative attribute. Pratiyogi means counter-correlative. And Vishesha means attribute. Means there is no mention of any attribute or anything which will limit the bigness conveyed by the word Brahma. Suppose it is said that Brahman is bigger than some particular ghata, then we will imagine some particular. Or Brahman is big, but what type of big? Like the mountain. So we will imagine that type of bigness. So here there is no upapada. In fact, generally we use the word upapada. There is no adjacent word to limit the bigness conveyed by the word Brahma, conveyed by the root Bru. Because generally the bigness conveyed by the word big is limited by the Vishesha, the substantive. When we say big mosquito, then how much bigness you understand? A particular bigness you understand. You don't say 1 kilometer bigness. We don't say mosquito. When you say big mosquito, it can be like instead of 1 mm, it may be 2 mm or something. 5 mm, 10 mm, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा, वो भी discount है. So you cannot imagine like 1 kilometer. Similarly, if bigness is conveyed with reference to mountain, you understand different bigness. But here there is no upapada to limit the bigness conveyed by the word big Brahma. And therefore what? Niratishaya eva vibhakshita. So Brahma means limitlessly big. And Satitu Vastvantare Tena Parichedat Vruddhehe Niratishayatvam Bhajyeta. He said, if there is anything other than Brahma, Satitu Vastvantare. However, if there is any other thing other than Brahma, then Tena Parichedat. Because of the limiting by that particular thing, Vruddhehe, of bigness, Niratishayatvam, unsurpassability, Bhajyeta, would be violated. Means Brahman will not have limitless bigness if there is anything other than Brahman. Why? Because that thing will be occupying particular place where Brahman is not. And therefore what? Brahman will not be limitlessly big. For Brahman to be limitlessly big, nobody else should be there. Because anything else amounts to limitless space. Like you are alone in the room, you sit or you move about different manner. If one more person comes, then your movement is restricted. यहाँ नहीं वो बैठा है उसके ऊपर थोड़ा चढ़ जाएंगे. We will not climb on that person. We cannot generally. So limited. Therefore people don't like to share the room. No, but limited. Therefore we give single room here. Alright, that's avantaram, prakrutam anusarava. So, vastvantare sati parichedat, because of the limiting conditioning, vruddhehe niratishayatvam bhajyeta, means will be violated. Means niratishaya, the bigness, niratishaya vruddhi, the limitless bigness will not be conveyed if there is anything else. So means along with Brahman, if something else is there, Brahman will not be called Brahman. But Brahman is limitless big. And for Brahman to be limitless big, nobody else should be there. Tathacha. And thus, Vastvantara Kruta Paricheda Rahitameva Brahma Shabda Vachyam. And therefore, whatever is denoted by the word Brahma, Brahma Shabda Vachyam is that which is denoted by the word Brahma. Should be what? Vastvantara Kruta Paricheda Rahitameva. Should be free from any limitation caused by other thing. So Brahman should be free from any limitation caused by any other thing. Alright. And now here he says that Brahman is free from the limitation of Vastu Paricheda, and Brahman should be free from Desha Paricheda, Kala Paricheda also. And for that he gives a very little different logic. Generally we know what we say in Taittiriya to show that Brahman is Deshataha Parichedna. What is the logic used there?
Is the Karanam
Of Akasha. Karanam of Akasha. So Akasha Karanatvat, it cannot be limited. And Brahman is Sarva Karanam. And it is not the Karyam of anything, therefore Kalata. But here he gives altogether different logic. He says, Desha Kalayoho api Vastutvat. Desha and Kala are also things, no? Desha is a one type of entity. Kala also is one type of entity. And Vastu Matrasya cha Brahma Swarupe Adhyastatvena. And everything वस्तु मात्र ये कार्ष्ण्यार्थे मात्र शब्द वस्तु मात्रस्य and everything is adhyasta, superimposed upon Brahma. Why? Because anything cannot really exist apart from Brahman. So if at all you accept that entity to be there, it should be adhyasta only. So vastu matrasya cha Brahma swarupe adhyastatvena, and Deshakala also is one vastu. Therefore, vastu kruta paricheda dirasena eva Brahmani Deshakala kruta paricheda dirasa api bodhyaha. And therefore, by the negation of limitation caused by any entity, by that Brahmani, in Brahma, Deshakala kruta paricheda nirasaha, the negation of limitation caused by Deshakala is bodhyaha, is to be understood. So what is this? What the logic used is that Vastu Matra is Adhyastha in Brahma. Desha Kala also is a Vastu. Therefore, Desha Kala should be Adhyastha. And therefore, Desha Kala being Vastu and it is Adhyastha, it cannot limit the Adhisthana. And therefore, Vastu Kruta Paricheda Nirasa. Since every Vastu is superimposed upon Brahma and superimposed cannot limit the Adhishthanam, therefore Vastu Kruta Paricheda is not there. Is it clear? So every Vastu is superimposed upon Brahma, therefore Vastu Kruta Paricheda cannot be there for Brahma, and Desha Kala are Vastu, therefore Desha Kala Kruta Paricheda Dirasa Pi Bodhya. That's how the internal logic is there. Alright. Now, so by this what is said? That Advaita is the Tatparyam. Shrutitaha, Yuktitaha, and Apurvatvad also is Advaita is Tatparyam. Alright. Now, let us come to the Guru Bhakti. The significance of learning, understanding Vedanta with the help of Guru, that is being explained. So why Guru Bhakti should be there? Because by listening to the Guru Upadesha alone, Atma Jnanam, which is the means for moksha, is possible. And that topic continues. Jiva Brahmekyo Upadeshta Eva Guruhu iti Guru Lakshanam Nirupitam. The teacher, Upadeshta means teacher, Upadeshati iti Upadeshta. Deshta. So Upadeshta, the teacher of Jiva Brahma Aikya, oneness of Jiva and Brahma, is Guru. So real Guru is that only. Otherwise, nowadays they use the word management Guru. Have you heard this word? Management Guru. And in Bangalore, even auto rickshaw wala, they will say, hey Guru, they will say. So they address each other Guru only. So if you want to ask for direction, hey Guru, they will say. So, hey Guru, Upadisha, like some Guru only say. So, but real Guru is this Jiva Brahma Aikyopadeshta Eva Guru iti Guru Lakshanam Nirupitam. In this manner, the characteristic or the definition of Guru is presented. And here, let us see the footnote now itself. So, pending week, then we may have to go back. It says, why Guru is Jiva Brahmekyopadeshta and who is having the Shastra Jnanam and then one who is having Shrotriyatvam, Brahmanishtatvam, all this. Why it is said, why this Shrotriyatva, Brahmanishtatvam are included in the Lakshanam of Guru? So he quotes the shloka to show that if a person does not have sufficient exposure to Shastra, he will not be able to interpret Veda well. Therefore he says, Vibheti Vibhetyalpashrutad Vedaha Mamayam Pratarishyati Itihasa Puranabhyam Vedam Samupabrahmayet. This is the importance of the Acharya being exposed to the Shastra very well. What is that? Vibheti Alpashrutat Vedaha. See, very figurative expression. Metaphoric expression. Vedaha Vibheti. Is it Veda like a person? Veda is given the metaphor of a person, as if he is a person. And Alpa Shruta Vibheti. So Veda is afraid of a person who has done very little listening. It is something like, you got some gift, 3-4 packets of sweet, and you start a shop, sweet shop, like. Or you got some samples of medicine, so you start medical store. So that is called Alpa Shruta. Alpa Shruta means that. Very little he has heard. Nowadays, this is what is happening, These people listen a little bit and they start teaching. That's called Alpa Shruta. And it is a very, in fact, for the teacher is very good. What happens to Shishya, Bhagavan knows. But for Guru, that person who is trying, sometimes it helps him. What? he has some psychological issues that nobody listens to me, nobody has any respect for me, consideration for me, and he starts teaching. So he's looked up to. He feels good. I don't know what happened to Shishya sometimes, but if he's playing safe and whatever he has studied from that alone he's teaching, no problem. But sometimes to impress the students, he will tell something extra. He said, I contemplated, and I got this idea. So it may be wrong idea. So there's somebody said, no. He said, somebody asked, what is the past tense of think? He says, I thought and thought and thought, and I got it. What? Thunk. So like that. So like that person is Alpashruta. So Alpashrutat Vedaha Bibheti. Veda is afraid of this person who is Alpashruta and trying to teach. So Alpashruta is there, no problem. That is perhaps Veda said no problem. You can become Bahushruta later on, no problem. But Alpashruta and trying to teach. From such a person, Veda Bibheti. Veda is afraid. Why Veda is afraid? Mam ayam pratarishyati. This fellow will misinterpret me. Pratarishyati, prapurvakatru dhatu, has got the meaning cheating, misleading, etc. So this person will mislead me means what? He will misinterpret me. Alright. So mamayam pratarishyati. Therefore what? Itihasa Puranabhyam. Therefore one should study well and with Itihasa and Purana. Vedam Samupabrumbhaye. Samupabrumbhaye means should strengthen. One should strengthen the Vedas. Strengthen the Vedas means one should strengthen the understanding and explanation of Vedas with the help of Itihasa and Purana. When you understand the Itihasa and Purana, then you understand the depth of Vedas. Because Itihasa Purana are based on Vedas and they are elaborating. Alright, so Itihasa Purana Bhyam Vedam Samupa Brahmaye. And that is possible for the person who has studied Shastra well. So people, they should not have any anxiety for starting to teach. If it happens, fine. And Bhagavan will do it. But one should be prepared enough. It's not that one has to be like 100% knowledge of all the Shastra. That is not going to be. Even the teacher himself did not have. But person should be having this thorough study of at least 5-6 Upanishads with Bhashyam, Bhagavad Gita completely with Bhashyam or some commentary, and listen to some teachers. Heard from the teacher and some Brahma Sutra with Bhashyam, listening from teacher, some Prakarana Granthas, all this, and especially learn from the teacher. And then it is safe to start. Otherwise, you just start. So there's startups. So many startups are there. Then it may be, they say out of the 100, only few startups sustain. Most of them are closed down. And they sink money of others. Because startup started with somebody's wealth. This fellow doesn't have anything. So startups say that's how what happens. Okay. Alright. Next. All these are quoted in the context of ideal guru. Ideal guru is the one who has got the background of Shastra in terms of this Vedanta, Itihasa, Purana. Second is Achinoti Shastrartham Acharya Sthapayatyapi Swayam Acharate Yasmad Acharyastena Kathyate. Who is Acharya? See, general definition of Acharya given in Smriti is this: Upaniya tu yashishyam Vedam Adhyapayet Vijaha Sakalpam Sarahasyam Cha Tamacharya Prachakshate. So Dvija, So one who is Dvija and Upaniya, having initiated to the disciple, Vedam Adhyapayet, and teaches Vedas. Along with Kalpa, along with this Shiksha Kalpa, one is Kalpa is there, and Rahasyam. Rahasyam can refer to Upasana also. Sarahasyam and Rahasya can refer to Upanishad also. So one who teaches the Kalpa and this Upasana, that is person is called Acharya. Tamacharya Prachakshate. But in the context of Vedanta, or in general, Acharya is Achinoti hi Shastrartham. One who collects, extracts the Shastrartha, the content of Shastra from different Upanishads. Swami Paramarthanji very nicely said in some context. He says, whenever you are teaching any text, your knowledge about that text should be one step higher than the level at you are teaching. Your knowledge should be one step higher than the level at which you are teaching. Suppose you are teaching Moolam, then you should have the knowledge of that text with Bhashyam. If you are teaching with Bhashyam, you should have knowledge of that text with not Bhashyam, Tika. That's how it is. Means it is not that every day fresh cooking you are doing. So today I am one step ahead. That's all. So next look I also don't know. Don't ask me about that. And tomorrow this evening I will study and teach you tomorrow. That type of situation should not be there. So he should have more level, then he should teach. Then his teaching will be effective. Achha. So here, Achinoti cha Shastrani means he collects from different Shastras. So he knows when he reads this, acha. So this comes. Today I was reading something, and immediately I remember that here Purnanandi, this idea has been talked about. So immediately I took out and Purnanandi, he talks about this particular matter. So he should have studied. If he has not studied, what is that to refer to? There is no book around, only that book. Whatever book Shishya has, Guru has, that's all. In Gujarati, it's how by Arka, apna be Sarka. So means both of us are equal. So it's okay. Mitra Bhava should be there, but in learning, teacher should be having more, isn't it? Even temperature and all, no? From hot only the body with higher temperature alone, the heat transference will happen to lower, otherwise the temperature transfer will stop. Even water also, transfer is always from higher to lower, means more quantity to less quantity. That's how it happens. So head should be more in the distributor, and there it will be less, then only transfer happens. So here also he said, Achinoto hi Shastrartham. He collects. And Acharya Sthapayatyapi. And he places that teaching in the conduct of Shishya. Means he is able to lead the student based on the teaching of Shastra. In other words, the teacher should be capable of showing the relevance of the teaching in the life of the student. He said, नहीं ये तो खाली पढ़ने के लिए है, ज़्यादा चिंता नहीं करना है. You just do your things. You learn cooking. So all this खाली ये पढ़ने के लिए. That should not be the आचार्य स्थापयत्यपि. And स्वयं आचरते means he walks his talk. He himself follows the teaching of Shastra. Yasma, since he follows, therefore, Acharya tena kathyate. Tena means tena hetuna. Because of that reason, he is called Acharya. Apurvaka char dhatu niyat pratyaya. Acharya. Alright. So by this, what is suggested? Shrotriyatvam and Brahmanishtatvam both are suggested. So Achinoti Shastrartham Shrotriyatvam. Swayam Acharate means he is seeing this fact. Here Acharanam is not like he has to do some behavior based on Brahmajnanam. Brahmajnanam is not the basis for any action. Brahmajnanam is the basis for avoidance of reaction, not the basis for action. So Acharate here means he is reflecting the teaching of Vedanta. His life is a commentary on Shastra. Like what Pujya Swamiji said, he is the Bhashyam on the Upanishad. His life is a Bhashyam. His life is a commentary. Means when in Shastra it is said that Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam Maitra Karuna Evacha. So we see that this is what it means. Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam means this. So what is written in Shastra, his life becomes the commentary to understand the meaning of those words. So that is what is meant by Swayam Acharate. And next one is very popular one. Gukaro Hyandakarasyat Rukarastan Nivartakaha Brahmandakara Nashitvat Guru Rityuchyate Budaihi. Slight difference is there in the reading. But the popular one is this. Gukarostvandakaro vai rukarastan nivartakaha andakara nirodhitvat guru ritya vidiyate. That is a popular one. He is slightly having different version. This shloka, one version comes in Guru Gita. Okay. Gukaro hi andakaraha syat. In the word gukara would be andakaraha. Would be andakara means that would be conveying andakara, darkness. Whether Gukara cannot be Andhakara, no? Maybe Abhidhana Abhideya is there. So Gukara hi Andhakara Syat. Gukara is conveying darkness. Rukarastan Nivartakaha. And Ru in the word Guru is conveying Tan Nivartakaha Syat. Means will be the conveyor of the remover of darkness. Easy to remember, no? Ru is remover. That's what. And Brahmandakara Nashitvat, because of the destroyer of the darkness regarding Brahma. Here darkness stands for ignorance. So because of being the destroyer of the darkness or ignorance regarding Brahma, Guruhu iti uchyate budhaihi. Therefore, the teacher is called Guru by learned people. So here we have to supply the subject. Guru is a predicate. Subject is what? Upadeshta. Jiva Brahme Ekyopadeshta Guruhu iti budhehi uchyate. The subject should be there, no? Guruhu iti uchyate kaha? Upadeshta Guru iti uchyate. Alright. Now, it is said, so Guru Lakshanam is talked about. Tadrishat Akhanda Brahmatmaikatva Vidaha Sadguroho Mukhad Ye Vedanta Vicharam Kurvanti Te Devamrutadapi Adhikam Niratishayam Brahmanandam Anubhavanti. So first Guru Lakshanam was told that Jiva Brahmaikyopadeshta is Guru. And that also, not only Upadeshta, is Shrotriya Brahmanishta. All these are included. Tadrishat, from such Sadguruho. Tadrishat Sadguruho. From such Sadguru, great Guru, who is Akhanda Brahmatmaikatva Vidaha. Who is the knower, Panchmi, Vidaha Panchmi. Who is the knower of oneness of Brahma and Atma. One who is the knower of oneness of Brahma and Atma. What type of Brahma? Which is Akhanda, indivisible. So from Sadguru, who is the knower of oneness between Brahma and Atma, which is Akhandaha, indivisible. What do we mean by that indivisible Brahma? Indivisible Brahman alone is appearing as Jiva and Ishvara. And their oneness one knows. And in that sense, it is said, Akhanda Brahmatmekatva Vidaha. From that Guru, ye Shishyaha, disciple who Vedanta Vicharam Kurvanti. From them, means with the help of them, Vedanta Vicharam Kurvanti, means do the analysis of Vedanta. From Sadguru Mukhat, from the mouth of the Sadguru. So from the mouth of the Sadguru means from the teaching or with the help of the teaching of Sadguru, Vedanta Vicharam Kurvanti ye Shishyaha, those disciples, Deva Mrutadapi Adhikam Niratishayam Brahmananda Manubhavanti. They experience the Brahmananda, the Ananda which is Brahma. Here experience in the sense own up the Brahmananda which is Niratishaya, which is unsurpassable, and Deva Mrutadapi Adhikam, which is superior to even the nectar of Devas. Means they will be able to own up, I am Anandaha. And he gives a very beautiful example. He says, Yatha Swabhavataha Ksharam Samudra Jalam Patrena Grihitva Pitaha Chet Tada Ksharam Eva Bhavati. He said, Samudra Jalam, the ocean water, which is Swabhavata Ksharam, which is saline, salty by nature only. Patrena Grihitva, having taken with some vessel. Pitaha Chet, if it is drunk. Pitam Chet, Pitam Chet, not Pitaha Chet. Pitam Chet, because of Pitaha it cannot be. If it is drunk, Tada, then Ksharameva Bhavati. Then that water will be salty only. Just because you have used some vessel, directly you did not drink. What you did? You used some vessel and Samudra Jalam. And you drink, then also what? Ksharameva Bhavati. Then also it is salty alone. So here this Patra is this incompetent Guru. Or without Guru, both ways. He will explain afterwards that if you have taken the water from the pot, you have filled the water, the Samudra Jalam with pot, and you are drinking, it will be Ksharam only, no difference. But Tadeva Samudra Jalam, but that very same water of the ocean, Meghehi Akrishya, having been drawn by the clouds, and Vrishtam Satu, and being cold, that water Pitam Chet, if that water is drunk, then Ati Maduram Bhavati. It is very sweet, it is very tasty. Some minerals will be there will be a little bit, therefore Maduram. But there is where there is so much pollution, you should not drink. You know, the rainwater where so much pollution, it should not be drunk. It's a good weather, you should drink, and that also you should drink if it is not touching any building or anything. वो बिल्डिंग का वो पाइप है उस पर लेंगे तो अच्छा नहीं. Good, means there is a good what is called ambience is there. There is no pollution is there around. Then this rainwater is considered to be very good. Pitam Chet Ati Maduram Bhavati. So Guru is considered to be like clouds. So what Guru does? Cloud, how he does? He takes only this pure water. The cloud takes pure water and pours it. So Guru like a cloud. And it takes only pure, the essential teaching, making it free from all vagueness, doubts, wrong understanding, and then pours it to the Shishya. Then that teaching will be Ati Maduram Bhavati. That Dhanam which is born of such teaching will be very sweet, like Amrita. Then Dashtanta is given. तथा वेदार्थापि स्वातंत्र्येण गुरु संप्रदाय विना विचारितः चेत जनन मरण दुःख हेतुर भवति. Similarly, the teaching of Vedas, vicharitah, analyzed, swatantrena, independently, Guru Sampradayam Vina, without the traditional teaching from the Guru, If it is analyzed, chet means if analyzed, then janana marana dukkha hetur bhavati. Then it becomes the cause for the pain, the suffering of janana marana, birth and death. Sahaeva, but that Vedartha, Saheva means that Vedartha alone. Advaita Brahmatma Paroksha Anubhavi Shri Sadguru Mukhat Avapyate. The same teaching of Vedas, Vedartha means here Vedanta Artha. Same teaching of Vedanta is attained from the mouth of the glorious Guru, Shri Sadguru, who is Advaita Brahmatma Parokshanubhavi, who is having the Anubhava, intimate appreciation of the intimate appreciation, aparokshanubhava together, intimate appreciation or immediate appreciation of Advaita Brahmatma, the Brahma which is Atma, which is Advaita, Atma which is Brahman, which is Advaita. So one who has got intimate appreciation of this Brahmatma, which is non-dual, and from his mouth is the teaching is received, then Nitya Niritashaya Paroksha Khandananda Swarupa Padigamaya Bhavati. Then that teaching, this Veda's teaching will become the Karanam. Adhigamaya Bhavati means become the Karanam for the knowledge of Nitya Niritashaya Aparoksha Khandananda Swarupatma. Knowledge of the self which is of the nature of indivisible Ananda, which is Aparoksha, immediate, and Nitya Niritishaya, which is permanent and unsurpassable. Means it will become the means for knowing Purna Atma. Taspat, therefore, Guru Mukha Deva Vedartha Grahyaha Vedikena. Therefore, Vedartha, the teaching of Vedas, should be grasped from the mouth of the Guru alone. By whom? Vedikena. The person who is in the fold of Vedas, who is following the Vedas. It's called Vedika, Vedikena. Vedam adhite vettiva sa Vedika. So that person means one who is fortunate enough to be born in this Vedic fold, then that person should learn from the Guru. We'll see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.